Hello everyone, welcome back to this MagCast. When we last left off, we were about to talk about EA, and in that time since then, we found something even dumber to talk about. More on that later.
Well, EA's just as dumb as Xbone.
Wow.
I think
Faye just got
do
robbed.
all the welcome backs. No, that was great.
I practiced.
Oh yeah,
See,
yeah.
Did you recite your line? Did you recite your lines for the last few days?
Yeah.
I know we're recording, but I'll be right back.
So
After these messages.
we'll be right back. No one remembers that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Partly because
messages, be right back.
I am 30 years of age, and I remember that.
yeah, I remember that. Those were the days.
All right.
But not about that.
Well, I guess before we get into it,
On Diversion Cast.
on Diversion Cast, we could go ahead and do the whole "What have we been up to lately?"
Yeah, but we only
Oh.
get 30 seconds each.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better have that stuff
No.
in like a Twitter message. 140 characters or less.
No, 120 syllables or less.
I've got a stopwatch up. All right, X, go.
Okay, well, the first thing I did was work on the Mag, and then, I had to do the V6, and then I was with Lantis in a little bit, and then I had to go to work, and then when I went to work, and then I didn't do real much of work. So I ended up watching a whole lot of TV, and then I didn't do anything else. But then, oh my god, and then I started eating, but I'm drinking my food now because I had Wisdom Teeth surgery, and now I can't do anything else. So it's really painful because I hate chewing with my front teeth.
You're running out of time, man.
Okay, and I've been looking at threads and everything.
Stop!
Yeah, I hate
30
myself.
seconds.
No, okay.
And sold
And
for
I hate
$600.
myself. Wow.
I'm
one's gonna
I'm
top
actually
eggs.
streaming a stopwatch.
Yes. All right, Lantis, you better own up to your own words. Go.
So lately I've just been playing Fire Emblem. I finally finished Fire Emblem for the first time. This is the first time I've ever beaten a Fire Emblem. I thought it was pretty good, except I thought it was really hard. The difficulty curve really shot up at a few places. I'm not really sure that I'm going to play further into the series or go back and play the previous games. I did feel like I did my time, and I don't feel like I need to do any more other than that. Recently I've been playing more Luigi's Mansion, and that's been really fun. I'm still in the second mansion. I've been trying my best not to use a freaking guide, but it's been really hard. But other than that, I haven't really been playing any games at all.
Wow. Holy crap.
Wow.
This is like Family Feud. I don't know if I can do this.
All right.
I don't want to go next.
All right, Trey, you ready?
Someone else.
Trey, you there?
Yes,
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I've got nothing.
Well, you made time. Congratulations.
You have made time. Best,
Well done.
best score.
I wish I had that kind of life where nothing
In the
happened.
MagCast decathlon with one event.
I win!
I won!
Cool, huh?
All right, Shadow Fox, you want to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I built a new computer with an AMD processor, and it works really fast, and it has blue lights.
Oh, wow, that's the best specs.
And I stuck my finger in my butthole. And that's all I have.
That sounded like NPR, dude. Oh,
What about
no!
What about you and Saltabot?
Sure. Alright, so since I've been away for a few MagCasts, I've been camping and fishing. I celebrated a birthday with my wife, and
Yay!
I did a lot of home improvement work. I'm putting up a back awning, I'm putting in a water filtration system, and I'm also doing some landscape work. So
Are
staying
you-
busy at home.
Are you getting help from
Nice.
Tim Allen?
Oh, playing Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Yeah, good.
Mass Effect.
And scene.
Scene. Okay, I think I can do this.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I practiced for this race too because I really didn't want to suck. So I played through all of Chrono Trigger in like 2 days, and one of those nights I stayed up until like 7 a.m. and whatever, you know. Tablet controls suck. Screw that rat. Up in Airstone, yeah, whatever. Been playing Kairosoft games a lot, and gardening and cleaning, and those don't sound like fun things, but gardening really is fun. You should do it. And hi, welcome to the MagCast.
Yay!
Is Kairosoft
Well done.
Is Kairosoft games like Gyrosoft games where you gyrate when you play?
No, but I wish I were.
No, that's the Nintendo Wii.
That's only on the Wii. Sorry.
Or the Xbox Connect.
Story mode.
Well, anyway, so I hear that somebody in here has a tale to tell about a certain company that has been talked about several times on the MagCast before.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about these guys, but we're going to condense it because there's bigger news. But
Yeah.
So the story is EA
Boo!
Boo!
challenge everything, meaning challenge making a good game for once. But the news on them was they had stopped their online pass thing, which is supposed to be like some big EA online thing. I don't know too much about it because I never used it, but apparently a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people didn't use it. So they said in their story that they were listening to their consumers and were getting rid of online pass because they want to do what's right for their consumer. And I kind of laughed almost out loud in the office, but I didn't because that would have been rude. And so they decided that they were going to stop their online pass. And I also found an article while I was sitting down and doing work. Yeah, I read news stories when I'm working.
Who
And
doesn't?
it was this article in GameStop that I saw, and it says the title of it's EA Engineer says the Wii U is crap. And just to read a little bit of the article, since a lot of you don't see it, guy says the Wii U is crap. It says it's less powerful than the Xbox 360. Poor online store, weird tablet, Nintendo R, which is grammatically incorrect, Walking Dead at this point. And then he says, yeah,
that really bothered me.
Nintendo R.
Yeah, he says
Nintendo R Walking Dead.
Sony, Microsoft, Apple, Google, all following the same playbook. Standard, powerful hardware with focus on software and services. They don't give me hand jobs, so that's not the best service in the world, but okay. And then he goes on to say, Nintendo are, again, still operating like it's 1990. They should have done a Sega and offered Mario/Zelda as PS4/Durango, which is the code name for the new Xbox exclusives. Instead, they make this awful console. Just stop it. Just make great games.
So 1 second, 1990s. So you mean a focus on games?
Whoa.
Whoa,
Okay,
man.
No, I just want to point out real quick that they have no right to talk.
They're
don't-
EA.
I
Come
can't
on,
remember.
EA.
Like they haven't made a great game in years.
EA, what are great games?
What-
Well, Madden 13, the whole glitched game that doesn't work the way it should.
See?
I don't give EA credit for frickin' Dead Space. That's all Visceral Games. You know?
Yeah, they
They're
spawned
just
them out.
They're just a publisher, is all it is.
Yeah.
I'd also like to comment how apparently Nintendo are still operating like it's 1990.
No,
In 1990, they were preparing a new game console to compete with the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
In today's market, Nintendo's not really trying to compete with anybody. They're trying to focus on a new market for themselves.
And also, just to point this out, 1990 and that whole decade was the best gaming years of my life.
Yeah.
Well,
me too.
But I want to say something about like the whole 1990 thing and the Wii, Nintendo and stuff, and like powerful hardware and stuff. If you look at, I think I said it before, but if you look at Apple type of hardware and stuff, it's not flashy, it's not super fast like a custom-built PC or like some other pre-built PCs, but the software that it runs makes the hardware seem like it's fast. So you don't need something super powerful to have a fast thing, you know? So their point on it not being as powerful is kind of stupid because you don't really need a powerful system or hardware to, have things work really well and look really good.
Absolutely.
And
then
at this point, graphical upgrades are superficial anyway. They're not that noticeable.
well, and like who's really going to have a 90-inch TV where you can see the pixels on 1080p?
No one.
And, like, as far as Nintendo goes, and they're saying they're operating like it's 1990, actually, Nintendo is operating more with foresight. Because, I mean, if you think about it, look what's becoming the big thing in the market these days.
Tablets.
Tablets and mobile gaming. And
Yeah, they're on top of this.
And the Wii U kind of integrates that with with console gaming, so you can play it like it's a console game, but you can also interact with it like it's a mobile game. So they're thinking more ahead of Microsoft and Sony, which Sony I know has that little touchpad thing, but I mean, that's things have evolved past the touchpad.
And let's not forget that there are a few things that Nintendo hasn't done that EA has done. It's been ridiculous, like always online to be able to play video games.
Right.
Passes, which, yes, they're doing away with, but that's something Nintendo has never done.
And I have to say, I really applaud EA for getting rid of the online passes.
It's about time.
They said that they listened to consumer feedback, and they realized that, oh, fuck me.
There might be hope.
I'm being hit with an incoming message from Microsoft.
Right. So, well, the thing is, X said in the thread he did the Admiral Akbar. It's a trap, and for good reason. For good reason, because there's a reason why EA got rid of their online pass. Because now that would be extremely redundant. There would be no reason for them to do it. Because Xbox One.
Yay!
Yay.
Why are you?
Okay.
Why
Show
are
of
you bringing up the
hands.
first Xbox?
Okay. Show of hands.
That's
Wait,
an old
what?
system. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, you already made my
I
joke.
don't mean Xbox One. I mean Xbox One. As in the third console. Not the third one.
Okay.
Ixion stole my joke.
I'm sorry.
Permission to punch him.
Permission granted.
Go ahead.
What?
No, it's for
Ow!
you.
Jeez.
Jeez, that's still
all
good.
right, so-
Flavor.
A dumb name.
So
Yes.
let's go to the name second, but first let's get to the season pass connection.
All
Well,
right.
no,
so-
no, no. Oh, well.
Or online pass, not
So,
season.
first, the
Oh,
last
God.
thing I want to mention about the name is, I think it's a great adaptation. And instead of calling it Xbox One, they're just throwing an N in front of it and call it Xbox None, because that's how many of us are going to have it.
Actually, I really do think we should take on the name first, because that second part and that third part and the fourth part, man, I am sitting on so much dynamite.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing. First of all, the entire conference was about an hour long. They didn't even show gameplay.
Did
Yes,
you guys
they did.
watch
They-
it?
they did.
I did.
They
did at the
at-
very end, but
at the
they said
last
ahead of
3
time
minutes.
that they won't. They said ahead of time they do not plan on showing any games until E3.
Yeah,
that
so
this
I'm
event
just-
was to show off the console,
Hey,
and strictly the hardware.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what is
but-
a console but a tool to play video games?
Hold on. Show
Right,
off the
but
console. I just like to
I'm-
point out that the
I'm glad that
console.
they did it this way, because if they didn't get all this information out before E3, the E3 Microsoft conference would be 3 hours long of them trying to squeeze in all this information in between games.
Well, I think they're going to be a little redundant about it and show it off again, because there are actually people there, like more people.
Yeah.
So they're
I'm
going to
sure in
waste
a
probably
limited
about
capacity.
they'll probably waste about an hour talking about their cool features and stuff.
But okay, but let's get back to the whole name
well-
thing. Dre, you were about to say
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, I was about to comment on the design of the console, showing off the console, and it's like, I've seen DVD players that looked more visually aesthetic
Yeah,
than
yeah,
the new
yeah.
Xbox.
It's a square
PG
PS3
mentioned
is
that.
what it is. It
Dude.
looks like a square
Yeah.
PS3.
She
You know-
said it looked like a DVD player. But even more boring.
You know what I like about the Xbox None? It's the fact that I'm not going to buy it.
All right, let's get
okay,
down to the meat.
Well,
right?
let me throw down the name though.
Okay.
It's not just Xbox One. It is also being called, Xbox None, Zone,
I started the Xbox
And-
None thing. I should trademark it.
and my
Zone.
personal favorite, Xbone.
They should have just called it Xbox Zero. Let's go Metroid in this.
Well,
There is a reason behind their naming it this way. I disagree with it. It's not good enough. But it's because it's your one device.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's also a little bit of a reboot of the concept of the Xbox console. Like they're changing so much.
They're trying to. They're trying to be. So, all right.
But not a lot was broken.
We'll get to some of the features, I guess, later on. But we'll stick to the things we know about video games for now.
And I can't wait for Nintendo's console, the Nintendo.
Yeah, but playing
the Nintendo Entertainment System.
So, playing off of the EA Pass thing, the new Xbox, all games that you buy will require an install before you'll be able to play it. So you can't actually play on the disc. Like once you install it, you don't even need
during
the disc.
the install, but it must be installed.
Right. Well, but that's not even new technology. I mean, Blizzard's been doing that for years.
PS3 did the installation thing. Like when I bought
No. It's the being able to play while it installs.
Yeah.
Like Blizzard's been doing that forever, so it's not new technology.
Well, the one thing I don't like about the install thing is like they're talking about the hardware specs of the Xbox. It was saying like has a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Well, considering that they changed to Blu-ray, that means the disc is going to have a 50 gigabyte capacity on it. If they start maximizing on the disc, you can only save 10 games on there. That's horrible.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be other external drive solutions.
They have USB ports and stuff.
Well, wait a minute. What if it's just like installing the permissions and then you can still play off the disc?
No, I don't think
what they said is that you just install with the disc and you play without the disc. They did not mention.
Oh my gosh! So it's a computer.
In that sense, yes.
In actually more ways than one. But the thing is, it's not done yet. You also have to have an activation code. Without that activation code, you can't play the game.
And
also, you can't apply the activation code unless you have a dedicated internet connection.
And you have to have an Xbox Live account.
Right.
Yes. So the Xbox says right on the box, I'm sure it will, because they've already stated it several times, requires internet connection.
But it's not always online.
Not always on. But requires internet connection.
And listen to their little tinkering bullshit. Because they know that nobody wants this shit. Nobody fucking wants it. But they can't tell you that. Because they want to fuck you in the ass. They want to fuck you in the ass, but they also want you to fucking love that shit.
Dude.
And love them for fucking you in the ass with no lube.
They sound like EA is like a godly partnership.
Like 3 fucking tanks in Left 4 Dead, hard mode. You ain't got no fucking med kits left. All your people are dead. But they want you to fucking love it.
But hey, Ix, I already prepared for that onslaught. I bought like 5 bottles of lube.
So, remember when we were, a few MagCasts ago, we were talking about speculations about how the games would be married to the system. Well,
there's no way that'll happen.
So that is now a reality, and we thought that
this happened.
Actually, it's not technically marriage to console.
Well,
it's marriage to gamer tags. So, if you have an Xbox Live account, you can move your Xbox Live account over to another console and play, but it doesn't stay.
Right.
They basically work like the arcade games now.
The thing is, they were Microsoft was so generous because if you don't want to assign a game to a console and that be it, so they gave us the option. They were so generous as to give us the option of taking that disc, putting it on somebody else's Xbox, on somebody else's account, and giving that person the option to pay full price for another activation code so that they can have the game on their Xbox as well.
So I just have to say, the new Xbox is a digital distribution system. There's no physical media on this console. The way it works is you buy a disc, and the disc is essentially a way to get the content onto the system instead of over the internet. It is strictly all digital. The activation code is your permission. It's the
Yeah,
so
there's
the disc
a
now
word
is
that some
an
of us kind
alternative
of
to downloading. So it's I see why they did it so that it could be this way, but they're so wrong to make the disc useless.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
disc is perfectly useless.
So,
it's just
now-
instead of hitting download, you hit install from disk.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So we're looking at like now what this does is it stops gamers from being able to say they actually own the game, right? Because I like this last weekend when Ix had his wisdom teeth cut, I brought down with me a few games that he hasn't played yet, and while he was recuperating, we were playing like BioShock Infinite and whatnot, having a good time. Right?
You motherfucker.
On what system, by the way? I'm
How
curious.
dare you?
360.
How dare you bring
Okay.
those games over to me and I didn't pay for them?
I know.
Microsoft's gonna
I should have
have to go
turned
to
you in.
jail.
So
I
what
should
it
have
is?
turned you in.
I know, right? That's just so. This is my question.
You thief.
So, is there any like idea of what games are going to cost yet? Is that out yet? I have no idea.
I've heard, like, these are rumors, but I've heard it's going to be the cost of a game itself, but then I've heard it's not set in stone on what the fee is going to be. Some people are saying it'd probably be good if it was like $10, which I still don't like it, but I mean it's better than $60.
I mean,
That fee's going to be full price.
I mean a triple A title
Yeah.
that just came
So-
out.
They're probably going to do the initial launch lineup at $60 because that's familiar. But there's
Right.
talk of both ways. There's some publishers which we don't need to name because we've brought them up all day in every single MagCast saying it should be at 70, and then many developers saying that it should be brought down to 50, and even Nintendo themselves saying that games cost too much.
They do.
So, well, the reason why I asked that is because I want to know what I am being given for the money that I pay.
Permission, bitch.
If I go
That's all you
to
get.
like, frickin' GameStop or something, I buy a new copy of Borderlands. That is my disc, that is my copy, and I should be able to do with it what I want. If I'm
No.
going to pay a $60 price tag for a brand new game. Now, if you're telling me that I don't have the rights to lend, trade, sell, or, borrow games from friends, like, I don't have that right anymore. Like, that seriously, what I'm paying for is literally just
Yeah.
the experience of playing the game and nothing else.
You're
That is all I'm
Yes.
paying for.
I would say
Then-
like $40.
Then I should say that the price should reflect exactly that. You
But then-
can't charge $60 and take away my rights.
I'd say
And
$30.
If you want to base it off the experience
Yeah,
of the
even
game,
better.
imagine what EA would do to like Madden. They'd be like, "Oh, everybody loves it, Madden. Let's make it like $200." And then I'll be
Well,
like,
with
"You
all
know
the
what? I could go to
DLC,
a
it
real
might
game
be.
than that."
Now, you brought up trading and selling. I also want to bring up that there's been a lot of talks about the new marketplace allowing for that. So
right,
Yeah.
but
you'll
here's the thing.
be able to sell
it-
your permissions back
Right,
because they are
sounds iffy,
permissions,
right.
and you'll also be able to trade with your friends. So I give you this
Okay.
game, you give that game. So
Right.
that's
Well, that's
interesting.
interesting.
But
Oh,
do you
sorry.
get to
I
name
wonder
your
though
price?
if they will. I don't know that. No one does.
No,
I bet Microsoft.
I can tell you
Microsoft
now.
is probably not even ready
No.
to say anything about that.
Well,
Well, I can-
no,
I-
Microsoft-
would be-
it's not that Microsoft's not ready. It's that they're not
Well,
going to because they need to sell the
I don't
console.
know. I think it's that they're not ready because and I'll get to that in just 1 second. But what I really hope with that system is you'll also be able to do like the Kindle does, because on the Kindle you can lend a book. So if you can lend a game, at
would be
least
cool.
at least that. Give us just that.
Well, then
I
if
don't-
you can do that, then what's the point of putting all this freaking protection and paywalls in the first place?
So that way it's a digital machine, no
Hey,
physical media.
That's a really good point I want to bring up about. Okay, now there's two things. The first thing is that along with all of this game buying, the system requires you to check in every 24 hours.
Well,
to the internet.
Well, it wants you to check in every 24 hours in order to play offline.
To make
Like,
sure.
if you're not going to
Yeah,
play, it
that's-
doesn't
that's
matter.
stupid.
But I mean, you're not going to turn the system on anyway.
No, from what I heard, it wants to check in to make sure that you have the permissions to play Period.
That's only when you
Yes.
turn the
Yeah.
system on. You don't have to turn it on every day. It's saying
Oh, but
we want you to be connected to the internet, and we'll check once a day when you turn the system on, and it'll check
Yeah,
your permissions.
I know,
and
but-
then you
But what
can go-
happens
But
if you
that's
don't
the
have an
thing.
internet connection?
Yeah.
Well, then you
Yeah,
might
like
as
a
then
bunch
you're
of kids
screwed.
well,
might
then
not have it.
you just stick with the Xbox 360 and do
But-
what
but- okay,
360
but
and
that's not-
enjoy.
Yeah, but that's not the point I was trying to make. The reason, and this is in Atlantis' point, of why they're going through all this crap to do this,
It's called money.
is because all of these publishers, for some reason, believe that used games are cutting into their new game sales.
Well,
Now this is
Go ahead.
complete BS. And the thing is, now all of these publishers and Microsoft want a cut of every used game sale that's going to
Yeah.
be happening.
That
Well,
is
there's-
complete
because
BS.
GameStop
Because
still profits.
Saturn got a cut of my wife's car when we sold her ratty old Saturn.
Exactly. That's the thing. In no other industry
Yeah.
is there an expectation that when you sell something that belongs to you, that the company can get a cut. Just like you said with the Saturn, like, if I sell my car, does Hyundai get a fucking cut?
No.
That's fucking stupid. That's
Well,
why.
Well,
Here's
hey,
the thing. Like,
they're even saying that they're going to try and take a cut from indie gamers too, or indie game
Oh
makers too.
Good
gosh.
fuck.
Well,
Well,
like-
it'll
like-
probably
like-
just go away.
the Xbox won't have any indie support at all. You have to have a
No,
publisher. So
you
there's
have
no
to have a
indie support.
publisher for Xbox.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now-
you have to-
Wow.
Now,
you have to
on
have a publisher
on
to
the
be
used
indie.
sales, that's actually buying a cheap used game has turned me on to a franchise, and then I'm excited for the new release, and I buy the sequel.
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
but, like that happened to Ix with what was it? A game that I
with,
gave you.
Dead Space.
Yeah,
He let me borrow Dead Space 1 and 2. I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome.
you
I bought
stole-
Dead Space 3 full
stole
price.
it. You didn't pay them.
No, yeah, I admit it. I did not
Yeah.
ask for permission.
I'm sorry.
But no,
you
the
had,
thing
you
is,
had no
they got
interest
another
in this game,
sale
you stole
because
it.
I introduced them to the series.
But here's the thing. If I had to sell a bunch of bananas and give Chiquita their cut, then I would have never gotten in to playing Dead Space, and EA would have never received $60 from me.
Now, I'm going to backpedal a little bit here on the whole, digital reselling. I am absolutely certain that you will not get to name your price. Like, I've got a wide collection of video
Right.
games that I've collected over the years.
Mhm.
And I can get on my Amazon account, and I can put my games up for whatever I feel like. If I want to sell my sealed copy of Chrono Trigger for $300, that is my copy, and
That's
I
kind
can
of low,
do that.
man. Kind of low. Don't get ripped off.
Did you mention that Microsoft is saying that publishers can put whatever price they want on the games?
I did
Oh.
not know that.
Yeah, I read
That's
an
awesome.
article. They're like, "Oh, publishers, you can name your price," and I think they're all going to stick with like $60 though, because people will get pretty pissed off if they went higher.
It's
Another
a
one
comfortable
here
position.
from the Xbox One, a Kinect that's always watching you.
Oh my
Yes.
freaking crap.
Every
Oh,
Xbox
and,
requires Kinect. You
Well, hey-
have to have Kinect.
And also,
Absolutely.
this thing also does like voice commands all the time.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, when they were showcasing that during the event, a lot of people were watching at home on their Xbox consoles, and if they had Kinect on, they were issuing commands to the home consoles, and people were getting kicked out of the stream because they were issuing commands and it was following through.
Oh, wow.
what better way to watch the stream than when it's
All right,
not
and
on?
I just want to say real quick that
Xbox.
thank you so much, Microsoft, because I can't tell you how many times I've come home from a long, hard day of work, plopped down in front of my TV,
Xbox
realizing that
on.
turning my TV on and realizing that my Xbox was not on, right? And I'm like, oh no, I have to pick up my Xbox controller and press.
But that remote is
guide button
way
down.
over there.
Yeah, I've got to press the guide button an
Good
eighth
5
of an
feet
inch
away.
down and turn my console on. I'm like, after the work I've done today, I would love to be able to sit across the room from my Xbox and just yell at it. And
You know,
come on.
hey,
Thank you, Xbox.
I'm reminded of Simpsons. You see that bowl of chips, Mr. Burns? Why, you'd have to get up.
I'm going to do a study after Xbox One's out for a year, and then I'm going to see how much weight all these Xbox One gamers have gained just from yelling out commands.
Actually, I called the box Xbone. And they would be Xboners. And that's what they deserve to be called.
Now, in all fairness, I gotta say though, the PlayStation 4 is still set in a position to implement all the same things that Microsoft has done.
But I think they're going to.
In January, they issued. I think they will. Their event was showcasing games. Now at E3, they're going to show the console. They have not shown the console or its interface. All they've shown is a couple of new features like streaming to Twitch and whatnot. Or not Twitch, was it? Was it Twitch? It might have been someone else. Ustream, I think it might have been.
I think it was Twitch.
It was Twitch.
I think it was Twitch.
So they showcased some features. They showcased all that. In January, there was a patent that became known to the internet that Sony put out that does the exact same thing that Xbox is doing, just in a slightly different manner, where you cannot. Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, where you cannot play used games without paying and getting fees. Another thing that they did was they said to Eurogamer, so what about the situation with used games? This is well before Microsoft's event, and they said, quote, so used games can play on the PlayStation 4. How about that? Is that good enough of an answer? They're staying very, why does it need that qualifier, you know? I think Sony is going to be implementing very similar feature.
That's the only thing they have to do to win.
It's all firmware, so they can kind of just test the waters. Microsoft went first and said, this is what we're doing. So now Sony can easily implement their already in place plan just with firmware, and Microsoft can adjust theirs with firmware to match Sony, and they can both do this. Because otherwise, why would EA drop online passes? They're not putting any AAA games on the Wii U, so they don't need them there. Microsoft already got their butts covered here, but they're still putting games out on PlayStation. So why wouldn't they want online passes there?
Yeah, I guarantee it's the same.
You know
what?
Follow EA. You know everything about who's the scummiest motherfuckers in the business by just following who EA is famous.
So, it is my belief that PlayStation 4 will implement something similar, but not requiring a full price fee of a used game. They're tracking it, but they're gonna still. I think they'll go easier on us than Microsoft is.
But, they're covering their bases though. You know what the first game they're releasing with Xbox One is?
What?
Call of Duty.
Oh, God, with the dog.
Call of Duty Ghost Dogs.
The only game that they showed. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? That's great because the sheeple are gonna buy it.
Hey,
but that's the thing though.
Yeah.
That event was for them. That event was seriously for them. Because we are the enthusiasts, so we're always on the beat. You know, we're right there, always paying attention, always learning and following all of it. So the people who that event was for was everybody else, everybody who's like, a new Xbox.
Yeah, you know why?
That was for Bobby down the street.
It's because of all that fucking TV, sports.
Just like they got Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg was there saying how he's going to be making a live-action Halo series and doing other franchises that are going to be exclusive to the Xbox.
Oh,
now I can see a real-life Cortana and stroke my dick and watch
Hey guys. What? Do you remember when consoles were about video games?
No.
What are video games?
Wasn't that a freaking great time back in the day when freaking consoles were about freaking video games?
No,
right.
I think we did the home review video.
And you see the home screen for Xbone. It's not even about games. Games is like
it's
the
Windows.
fourth
It's
tab.
a Windows 8 environment. Yeah.
It's the fourth tab over.
Well,
that's not even why you fucking bought the console in the first place.
Windows 8 was modeled after the Xbox layout because it was a quote unquote popular looking layout that people could, relate to, and it was recognizable. That's
Yeah,
why they
it
went
has
with
my interest.
yeah, that's why they went with the
it's-
Xbox Music thing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Windows 8, Mobile 8, and the Xbox One all have that same similar interface, and that's on purpose, of course.
it's like an integrated
It's also
type of
easy
thing.
on touchscreen. It's easy on the Kinect. It's easy on voice commands, and it makes sense to have them all the same. That way, they can do the smart glass interaction, which they showcased a little bit. He was watching TV and used his phone as a remote. But I
Something wrong with
agree
the
it would be
controller?
great if their focus was games. However, some of the stuff it can do was impressive. Some of the multitasking he did and snapping things in and out and just saying Xbox TV and it went straight to TV, which, by the way, you
know
do
what?
have a separate device connected to it.
If I
They-
wanted
they
to
made
watch
it look like
TV,
you don't, but you
do.
I wouldn't have a console in the first place.
So does
Yeah.
does the glass thing let me have drinks without having to pick up the glass?
Not what?
So-
Voice commands don't work on that level.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for college students, people with roommates, or family members in general. Just a fly on the wall for the first time that people are going to be in the middle of the game, and some jerk that's got something against you walks by and goes, Xbox off, just on his way to the kitchen.
Well, now
Yeah.
you can, because it has Skype integration that can be dual snapped in while you play games. You
Never-
can have Skype
never
going
get
and
on-
accidentally
never get
catch
on
your
Skype.
friends
so,
jerking it.
so let's say you
Maybe that'll happen with Mayokai and his brothers.
Never get
Right.
on
Yeah.
Skype in college
Wow.
because there'll always be that one dick who has his dick out and flopping
Oh,
it
yeah.
around. Helicopter dick.
I'm just saying, like, let's say you're sitting there, and you pissed off your roommate because you left the door open or didn't do the laundry or something like that.
Or you walked
You're
in
sitting
on
there-
Eat the
him.
Cheetos.
Or you
And,
walked in on him
ate all
while he
the
was touching
Doritos or
himself.
drank all the Mountain Dew, right? And he's all disgruntled now. You're sitting there enjoying a game. You're working on an achievement. You almost got it. He comes walking by to go to the kitchen, and he's all like, Xbox off. And then all of a sudden you're like sitting there staring at a blank screen. You're like,
Yeah.
what
Well,
the heck?
You better be careful too with the whole Skype thing, because if you're having sex on your couch and you happen to be thinking about the Xbox when you have an orgasm,
Because
your whole family will see you having
Well,
sex.
yeah, because again, Connect is always on.
And
Always watching.
You're touching on
Always
something
listening.
else too, which is bigger than the whole controversy thing. It's privacy.
Yeah.
Privacy
Connect
with
always
Microsoft.
on.
Connect
Connect
is
always
always
listening.
on.
Connect always watching.
This is
And all of the data is required to go to
Yeah.
Microsoft.
and that's an Orwellian wet dream. This is ridiculous.
So
Well,
it's
yeah.
not
Wet dream
Xbox,
for
it's
the
Big
creator.
Brother. It's
Yeah.
Xbox brother.
Ex-brother.
X
It
brother.
wants
It
to be
makes
a friend.
no sense whatsoever to have something like that. We don't let the government come in and record shit like that. Why would
Yes,
you?
we do.
No,
And
So now we're
no,
gonna
we
pay
don't.
Microsoft to do it.
No, we
You
don't.
know, Pelican is going to come out with a privacy adapter to put over your Connect.
They're gonna
MagCast.
Pelicans
I-
gonna bring it in with Pelicans. They're gonna fly in and
Yeah.
drop it off.
There's literally already privacy adapters for the existing Connect because you can't unplug it. I mean, but
Why would you?
yeah,
And recording your body. And
Dude,
and
that's
the
gonna be
other
great.
thing where it can with Connect, it can record how many people are in your room, so they can charge more money for
Yep.
movies and stuff based on how many
And
people are in
NFL
your
events.
room.
because
What?
Oh God.
yeah,
Well, that's when you
Microsoft
like
teamed
only
up with
have
NFL so that way they can set the price points of
Yeah.
major games.
Well,
And
this is what you do.
they paid $500 million to NFL just to get them to join them with the Xbox and help them out here.
Well, this is what you do. All you
Oh.
do is have a baby sitting in front of the Kinect, so they'll only give it like half price, and then everybody else clambers into the room after it starts.
But
Just throw a damn sheet over the thing.
no,
Yeah,
you can't do that. No, you can't do that because if the Kinect doesn't see anything, it's going to assume that you're not there, and it's going to turn itself off. But
Xbox off.
Oh, what you need to do is take a picture of yourself and strap it in front of the
There
camera.
you go.
Get a cardboard cutout of yourself.
no.
Why
It'll
does
work.
this guy never move?
No, what you need to do is like You gotta pull like an Arnold and put mud all over your body like in Predator.
Dude, what you should do is like you should get the same kind of fabric that you have for your couch or your chair and just like cover yourself in that and cut out eye holes.
Well,
They will
it has
never
the
know.
heat sensor. It's the heat sensor.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You have to cover yourself with mud.
Cover yourself with ice packs or something. You'll get the nice cool
All
effect.
right. Just right now, off the top of the head, who's getting an Xbox One?
Oh, I'm gonna get like 3 of them.
I already
Okay,
have
so
an Xbox One. In fact,
I'm
I've had it for 10
watching-
years.
I'm not going to be excited in line for it, but honestly, in the end, I'll probably have 1 or 2 of these consoles coming out. I'm going to be a PC gamer this generation.
I'm
Just gotta
gonna
get that out of the way.
I'm gonna be a Wii U gamer. Just
I've
Yeah,
got a
Wii
very
U.
nice gaming rig
PC.
that's sitting right here. I'm excited for it.
PC
But-
and Wii U.
I think I'll
Wii
end
U.
up getting an Xbox or a PlayStation 4, maybe.
the thing about Nintendo is that like with their directs, they're actually showing focus on the games, which is what's different here. Like they're actually caring more about the games than all the extra
Absolutely.
stuff. Like they have
Like-
Netflix and stuff, but I mean it's secondary
Yeah,
to
but they
the
aren't
other things.
selling it on it. Like,
That's a good point. They're not selling you a console based on it runs Netflix.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
just
this is
a
a gaming
given.
console with some entertainment. If you want to be,
So-
it's a given.
By the way-
And the last, oh man, it's making so much freaking sense now because you remember the whole unprecedented partnership that happened between Nintendo and EA. Look at what's happening now. All that's connected. This is what happens because if Nintendo had joined with EA
Conspiracy X season, clearly.
no, it's not a conspiracy. Now you can say it's a conspiracy all you want to, but you can look at the evidence. Look, so if
sound just like
Nintendo had actually, been on board with EA and doing all this bullshit, then they would have supported them. But they let them drop like a stone.
well,
And that's fine. I
well.
don't want them on there.
I mean, when you have someone saying that your hardware's crap, why would you want them anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
actually,
fair.
what you should do to hurt the franchises, be like, oh, it's okay. We'll quote unquote implement all the things that you want, and then they like completely nerf all their games to where they're unplayable, so no one wants to buy EA games anymore.
I think Nintendo is too classy to attack them in that manner, but just imagine all the things they could do, like say, oh, we have that Nintendo seal of approval, so sorry, EA.
So I just want to point something out real quick. There were a few things that why I was a console gamer over a PC gamer, right? There was the convenience of not having to dick around with updates, computer settings, upgrading hardware, and all that stuff.
Matching
right?
servers,
Right.
having to get your IPs, none of that. Just
Now,
click
and
go.
the ability to share games and stuff like that. But Microsoft has single-handedly taken away the few things that consoles had over PC gaming with the Xbox One all by itself.
Well,
So
hey, Bill,
my question is, why would I get this console when I have a PC?
well,
Yo,
Bill,
did you know you have to actually put in activation codes for this shit?
Yeah.
You have to put in. Well, you have to put in an
you buy a
activation
physical
code
disc
for
and you got to put in a code.
Game.
Yeah.
What the fuck? The last activation code I put in was for Age of Empires 2 in like 1998.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last thing I remember putting an activation code in for was like Fable 1 on PC. I think that required an activation code.
that's quite the fable there, Lantis.
Fable.
I'm just saying, I'm complete with insulted by it here. I think I'm going to be migrating over to PC gaming. I will get a Wii U because
Yeah.
I there is no reason for me not to get a Wii U.
If you want to get a Wii U, wait. Then you're not sold on getting it yet. Wait till about August or September. They'll have more stuff out then.
Oh yeah, Bayo 2. What? I mean,
Yeah,
heck,
So-
I'm
so-
not a Nintendo fanboy at all. I'm not a huge fan of Zelda. I hated the first time Mario went 3D, but there's some top quality games on the Wii U, and I imagine I'll have one by the end of next year.
guys, Eternal
news,
Darkness sequel. All
So
I'm saying.
Oh,
we're
hey,
set.
Look,
the next Assassin's Creed's gonna be on the Wii U as
June
well.
11th. June 11th. Nintendo is gonna slam its balls down on Microsoft and Sony right during E3.
No, it's gonna
With their own direct.
it's gonna slam its Wii down on them.
Oh!
Look, the way I
It's a
see
Wii
it,
U games demonstration.
and I'm loving that, but like the way I see this is that Microsoft and very likely Sony have declared war against gamers. Like, gaming for me is not just something I play. I love games. Games are a way of life for me. And what they have done is actively declared war against what I love. Now, there's only one weapon I have, and that's my money, which is my support. And I will never, ever, I don't care what price the games are, they can't give me Xbox One games, and they can't give me PlayStation 4 games, because if you get this in your home, then it's saying, yes, Sony, yes, Microsoft, fuck me.
Well, hey,
This
there's nothing.
is what I've been preaching for years.
There is
Never.
nothing. There's nothing better than a threesome with 2 consoles.
Yeah,
I can't climax without my 360.
Oh my.
The rumble feature in that in the controller, man.
We're going somewhere we shouldn't.
So here's the thing. There's gonna be a lot of people who are going to support this thing. We already know that.
Sheeple.
But we already know that they're no friends to gaming at all, because they're just the people who buy Madden, they buy Call of Duty.
Well, they're aiming for college
Whatever.
kids that are really stupid and don't know what they're doing.
Xbox
They're not-
TV.
Xbox Madden.
So we're
Madden
right
box.
now, gamers, we're at a completely pivotal point in history. Like, this period of time is never coming again.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing.
I hope it's not coming
If
again.
it depends
Shut
on the
It-
the last generation. I just shat all over the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. I thought it was a terrible
Yeah.
console. I thought the controls were terrible. I
Yeah.
thought the lineup of games were terrible. I thought Xbox and Sony nailed it and thought they did great and this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then
This
firmware
generation,
updates.
it has done flipped. I congratulate the Wii U for what it has done, and I shun Xbox and Sony if they follow suit.
And honestly,
Shun.
I don't even want. I didn't even think about getting a Wii. I knew I was going to eventually get it because I like Nintendo franchises, but so, I'm eventually going to get it. But now I want one. I want Nintendo to win. Hell, I might even buy like
You have
2
the
or
old
3
eggs
motherfuckers.
back.
I might buy 2 or 3 Wii U's and just give them away.
You know what's good about the Wii U? It has 2 colors that you can choose from.
I bet it's gonna
White,
get a red
white
one.
and black.
It's
Well,
gonna get
hey,
a red
it's
one.
better than just, I only have the black option. Why can't I have a white option?
Well, the white
Hey,
option is
now.
very small, very small.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. The white console has a smaller storage space.
Yeah. A smaller drive.
It's also cheaper.
I don't like where this conversation is going.
All right,
There's no innuendo here.
I'm going to steer things my direction here. Will I
Okay.
get an Xbox None? No, of course I won't, because that would be incredibly stupid.
Well, it's
But I'm not
$500.
going to become a PC gamer because of it, because the PCs still aren't going to have the games I'm interested in.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the JRPGs. They're not going to have the platformers. For that, I'm going to go ahead and sometime get a Wii U. And for other gaming, I'm going to do what Lantis suggested some MagCast back and check out some older games I missed out on.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, who here's played Klonoa? Like, seriously.
I have.
I played
Yes.
it for 10 minutes, and then I was like, you know what?
Like, go
I'm
play that
feeling it
amazing
now.
game. Or like,
Back
there's-
on the first one I ever played back on the PlayStation. That was good.
Door to
That
Phantom
was good.
Mile.
I have
Yeah.
not played the second one. I believe that's on
I
PlayStation.
played
So,
the second
okay,
one, which was
here's
fantastic
the thing, guys. There are a lot of console games. Since there are very few like PC gamers in this group as of now. Like Insultabot's pretty heavy PC,
too.
but a lot of the games that were on console are on PC, readily available. You
Yeah,
know,
and they're going to
Yeah,
come to
with
PC too.
Steam,
yeah,
there's like a ton
Dungeon
more.
Defenders 2. Like, we all in here played Dungeon Defenders 2 for quite a bit of time on
One,
Xbox.
not two.
One,
That's
yeah.
one, yes.
But 2 is coming out, and it's coming to come out on PC. And since I already know ahead of time that if I buy it on Xbox 360, I can't play it on my PlayStation, my Xbox One, so I might as well get it on PC, you know?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we
I
haven't
have-
mentioned
Oh
that
yeah,
yet.
we forgot to
Yeah,
talk about that.
There was no
Uh,
backwards compatibility with
yeah,
the
in fact-
Xbox One.
Oh, what?
And
Yeah.
Well, here it is. Don Matrick, the head of Microsoft Entertainment,
Who
said,
did the events? He
who
was the
did?
host.
He was the
So
guy
you
at
put
the
a face
event.
on it.
Right. Said, if you're backwards compatible, you're really backwards.
Well, and see, like Lone brought up a point in the video in that topic, saying that new technology we're gonna need to advance and stuff, and I agree to a point. New technology is always cool. Like everybody wants the latest thing, but I mean, when you look at a lot of new things also incorporate old things, so you're not losing all the old stuff just yet. I mean, like, things are going to update. Like, with my iPhone and stuff, I have an iPhone 5 now. It still runs the apps that I had on the iPhone 4, but
Yeah.
like some of the apps have updated to where it has the native resolution of an iPhone 5, but it still works on older phones. So, backwards compatibility is not, like, it's not stupid. It's not clinging
It's
onto the
not
past.
stupid at all.
It's
It's
like
a
saying
selling point.
it's a good transition point. It's
Yeah, right.
It's like
a selling point.
it's like I have a good library of 360 games. Well,
It
it's when
helps
I
you
get
feel justified as
yeah,
you play it.
and if
the
I get
new
an
console.
if I get an Xbox One, I probably only have one game with it. I'm not going to continuously play the one game then go back to the
Yeah,
Xbox
And then
360.
Yeah.
thinking back on the price that you paid for a brand new console, and it's just sitting there with one game, you feel a little bit of regret.
Yeah,
Right.
And
So
I mean,
you-
I've been there, but having backwards compatibility, you're using the system, you're going through it, so it feels, even though you still only have that one game, it feels justified on a much higher level.
And a lot of people do trade in and sell their systems after they get a new one because
There you
it's
go.
like, well, what's the point of having
And
something
to help
old when it
to
has
fund
And
the new
what,
one.
maybe you don't want to freaking have that many consoles plugged up to your one entertainment center. The freaking like, it's nice to consolidate, condense, and have fewer things plugged up and connected back there. Have a freaking mess of wires. It's what it is just good old fashioned convenience. Why would you take that away?
And you know
We
what?
can't have that.
because they're stupid.
You guys were mentioning playing older games from the past, but this brings up a really good point that we hadn't
Get all glossy
covered.
eyed. We can go
We have
back.
not covered this because what happens if one day, years from now, somebody says, "Hey, I want to play this really good game that came out only for Xbone," and Microsoft is long gone?
Oh, just connect to the service
yeah.
and verify
No,
your
no.
purchase.
Yeah, you can just do that.
Servers are gone.
And
Yeah.
all the servers are gone. You can't activate it, so you can never play that game again. An entire generation of games wiped off the face of the earth because you can't even play it. Just like, and I posted about this in the topic because it was relevant, but and nobody will even know what the hell
We'll
I'm
have to
talking
link to
about.
that topic in the description.
Yes.
Yeah.
DivX. Does anybody know what DivX is?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember what DivX was?
Yes.
DivX was
Yeah.
it was a system, a DRM system by Hollywood, vastly bigger than the gaming industry, mind you, where they would sell you a disc for like $5, and then it would only play one or two. Like you had 48 hours to use that disc, and it failed spectacularly. Like,
Cost so much money to set up too.
yeah, it cost all that money, and that was backed by Hollywood. But the best part is, there's a training video from Circuit City
Oh, I gotta see this.
Circuit
about
City.
how to sell this technology to people. And one of the questions in the training video is, what happens if the company goes out of business? And
You
the way they
are
were handling
out
it
of
was
luck.
like, well, no. Actually, that's a fair question, they said. But that's extremely unlikely. Because this is backed by the biggest people, and especially the biggest companies in Hollywood, including Disney and XYZ, MGM, whoever, and
Paramount.
even if it listen to this stuff,
Viacom.
and even if it does, DivX players will function as a DVD player. Now,
Alright.
that was a complete lie. DivX players cannot be used as DVD players. They do not work.
They are used as a DivX player.
So they sold you nothing, and all those discs that you have that are DivX discs, they will not work anymore. You cannot use any disc because you had to go and get it, your permission
Verified,
for what you bought. Like that's ridiculous. Like, hey, Chiquita, can I buy a banana? Do I have permission to eat this banana I bought from you? It's ridiculous. Absolutely.
And by the
Sorry, all our helplines are busy.
Food DLC. Here we go. Food DLC condiments.
Please call back later at your early convenience.
Yeah, and be like, hey, this banana's already spotting. I need to freaking, seriously, I need permission.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do is the next time I go to Publix to get groceries, after I buy my stuff, I'm gonna walk over to the manager and say, hey, can I eat these at home?
Do I have permission?
That is great.
No,
you know what?
No, and you have to go back.
I want a YouTube series to happen, a video of just asking permission for the most ridiculous stuff, because that's amazing.
I can just
Like
see
a
now,
guy has
you
a
go
weird
buy
piece of Band-Aid.
a few days worth of grocery, but every single day you go back to the grocery store and ask permission, because every 24 hours
You have to have that
I
food
brought my
in your
receipt
hand.
that I bought this year. Is it okay if I have some Eggos? Because I was feeling waffles, man.
I have some good ideas.
I need some
here.
waffles.
Okay, here's one idea. You go to a clothing store and you show up naked with clothes that you bought in your hands, and say, do I have permission to wear these clothes?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing MacCon West skits already.
Yeah, bring the food back to the store. Say, hey, I forgot my receipt, but I'm really hungry, so I'd like to pay for this again.
Well, and then imagine getting your hair cut too. It's like you get your hair cut and you have to go bald every time, and you take up the hair that's cut off the floor and put it in a bag, and you model it the way you want, and then you go up there and say, hey, am I allowed to put this hair on?
You're
going bald today.
Look. Okay, so you buy yourself a bag of chips. You go up to your friend's house, give him the bag of chips. He has to go back to the grocery store, pay money for the bag of chips you gave him, so he can eat the chips.
and now you can't have any chips, though. You cannot eat the chips.
You sold your chips away, so you can't have
You
one unless you
fool!
pay a fee. Pay a $2 fee to eat a chip.
You
Oh
foolish
man.
fool.
Oh man, this has been great.
Welcome to the new age where you have to ask
I
permission.
think I need a
to do
cigarette.
everything.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well,
you're gonna have to go back to the store and verify
You have
that you
to
can smoke that
you have to-
cigarette.
Yeah, I
ask
need-
Marlboro for permission. Hey, Marlboro,
Yeah.
can I smoke your cigarette? And then they'll say no, and then you'll be upset and die of cancer.
No. You gotta go verify that you bought the cigarettes before you can actually contract cancer.
Are you sure that you got those and not just bummed them off a friend?
See, Marbo, I have been smoking all these cigarettes. Well, enjoy your cancer.
Here's the activation code to your cigarettes.
The activation code for lung cancer.
It's just
Go to our
printed on the
website so you
side.
can open the pack of cigarettes. The pack of cigarettes can't open unless you have an activation code, and you have to enter it online, and then the seal will be unlocked. It'll have an Ethernet port on it, so you have to connect it to the internet, and it checks once a day if you've turned it on or opened the pack.
Yeah,
All right,
we'll definitely make a skit along those lines.
Well,
Nice.
to the whole backwards compatibility thing, it's a selling point. And in fact, if PlayStation 4 doesn't go in the same direction,
It will.
let me have this hypothetical moment, please.
Okay, I'll let you have your wet PlayStation 4 dream. Go ahead.
Alright, so if the PlayStation 4 doesn't go in the same stupid direction that Microsoft does, and if it does have backwards compatibility, that will be a huge selling point for me, because I never got a PS3 for multiple reasons. The first reason was it was too expensive at first. The second reason was by the time I could afford it, they dropped backwards compatibility. And there are other reasons, of course, but if the PS4 is backwards compatible, that means that I can get a PS4, and I also have a whole bunch of PS3 games that I could immediately go back to and use on my PS4. That would be a huge selling point for me.
No, you can't do that. Buy our PS3 first.
Well, actually, I think that they dropped the disc slot from the PS4, so the backwards compatibility in that would be more like Gaikai, I believe.
Well, it's not going to be backwards compatible because I read an article saying that Sony and Microsoft's new systems are a different architecture than what the previous generation was.
I'd just like to point something out. The Xbox 360 architecture was not exactly the same as the Xbox One architecture, and so they had to emulate the hardware. Why can't they do that again?
But they also had to emulate it for each individual game, and most of them they didn't do a good job because there wasn't a lot of money behind it. But,
well, I'm just saying,
but
if we're talking about the advancement of technology, you think it wouldn't be very hard to make it to where you could play older games.
Right.
No, but they want money.
Another point is then they could still do like they're doing already. Like this week, The Warriors, a PlayStation 2 game, is coming out on PSN. I mean, they're taking their time to get all these classics out, but they are doing it, and in a way that still garners new sales instead of used sales. So I think that's the direction they're going instead of backwards compatibility.
They just want you to buy a new one.
My argument against that is it takes them forever, and they're not getting every game.
I agree. Yeah. Yes, absolutely correct.
I'm not
plus,
a fan.
PlayStation 2 is a different architecture than the PlayStation 1. But to fix that, they added some key hardware elements and emulated the rest.
Well, see, the thing is, if they did that, well, to them, like for us, it makes sense, and it's good business for consumers. But for people who make the stuff, they are looking at it from their business perspective.
Yes,
we make more money when we do it this way, because then people will have to buy our other new stuff, and they can't play their old stuff unless they played on the old thing they already bought.
On the backwards compatibility, they would prefer, of course, that you buy a digital release, a digital re-release even. But how wonderful would it be if they went ahead and did that, but you could still put in your original disc, and instead of playing off the install, you would play off the install, but the disc would have to always be in there, just as the same way the 360 does it now, just to verify your ownership, because they can't go back and change.
Why couldn't they do that in the first place?
How wonderful would that be?
Because it makes too much sense. You
exactly.
Can't
that.
Games industry. If it makes sense, throw it out the window.
Defenestrate it.
And on the topic of comparing PS4 to Xbox None here, they're going to be very similar because they want to try and keep up with each other from their own business perspectives. Because if PS4 does one thing different that's beneficial to us, then they're behind in quote unquote making money.
Yeah, just
that
like
Microsoft
how PlayStation 4 is embracing the indie developers. That right there, that's a lot of money going straight to Sony that Microsoft will not see. But at the same time, Microsoft simply does not care.
Yeah.
They're going to run off their current Steam. They're going to use their big franchises as the key selling points, your Halos, your Gears of War, and they're going to keep their install base minus people like ourselves.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be very successful.
And they're going to use gamers as a sacrifice. They're going to slit our throats so they can grab all the dude.
Hey, man! That dog in Call of Duty will be the one slitting your throat.
Yeah, that guy is a killer puppy.
And did you guys follow any of the Twitter accounts of any journalists that were there?
Yeah.
I was following Proton John's tweets on it because he was watching it, and I was like, "Hey, Proton John."
How they stuffed the audience full of Microsoft employees. So
all of the cheers were coming from the back. Yeah, all the cheers. Adam Sessler was there too. He said all the cheers aren't coming from the journalists; they're coming from the very back where the Microsoft employees are.
I love Adam Sessler.
You know what?
That guy's the stand-up dude.
What they should have done was just take video footage of a crowd at like a Jay Leno show or something, and then add in laugh tracks and stuff, and
Both are
make
just
it
as
seem like
good.
people are very interested.
That's basically what they did, but in
It's
real
even
life laugh
it's even
tracks. Yeah.
cheaper that way. You don't have to pay money for people to be
Oh,
there.
Wow.
It's just like a sitcom laugh. We'll be right back with more DRM.
Just that freaking laugh track.
All right. So
Applause.
there is one more thing that I want to bring up. Is it true that the Xbox None is going to only have an HDMI out?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay,
would
well then I
guarantee
can't
it.
play it
Only-
anyway because I don't have an HD TV and I
Well-
don't plan on getting one anytime soon.
You
Isn't
better
Wii
get
U
one.
also only? No, wait, they may have a standard.
I think you can get a converter, right? You can get a
Well,
little box
yeah.
that converts HDMI to.
Well,
Yeah,
Dre,
they're about $50. Yeah.
Dre, what kind of what size TV do you have?
It's like 20-something inch, 21, 23.
You
I
have
would
like a CRT, right?
Yeah.
I would say even
It's
go
a fat
as,
TV.
I would say
Hmm.
go as far as maybe even getting like a monitor that could be like $150 with an HDMI ports, and if it has speakers on it, you can get something like that.
Well, I don't need speakers because I got a stereo system.
Okay,
you
well
go.
if it has like an audio out type of thing, then you can connect it there.
Yeah,
And
but
the
here's the-
Xbox One has HDMI in so that you could watch TV and control it with your Xbox, and it has HDMI out and optical out.
Yeah, well, I won't be able to play it even if I wanted to.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, you
I
better
don't
get
plan
you
on
don't
getting a
want
new TV just to play a new console.
Oh, but it does support 4K resolution.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So when I decide
Ultra
to
HD.
buy a movie theater so I can hook up my Xbox None to it,
Yes.
that'd be awesome.
Go to a Cinema 6 and say, I want to buy you for my Xbox One.
I mean, it's bad enough that the Xbox 360 had games with text so small you needed a magnifying glass in order to read them on a standard definition TV.
Well,
But
it
now I
wasn't
can't
made
even
for a
run
standard
them onto my
definition
TV.
TV.
Yeah. You know, that actually would be really amazing, though. Can you imagine renting out a theater hall and playing Xbox 360?
Boom.
Yeah, people do that for parties and stuff.
You know what?
Good stuff.
You know what would help movie theaters if they would ask people to just like come in every night with an Xbox or something and play like one of those quote unquote popular games like Halo or something,
Yeah.
and people will just come and watch and want to get in on the action, and then like they
Twitch
can
in real life.
yeah, they can take turns and it'd be a fun time.
Hmm.
And like just line up like different theater rooms with another Xbox so people can play online against each other.
would
Instant
be really
tickets,
interesting,
instant ticket sales. $5 to play online with a bunch of different people in the same building.
We are a little off, but there already is a game that utilizes a theater. Everybody in the theater gets a laser pointer, and the laser pointer represents the momentum of your spaceship, and you have to maneuver your spaceship without crashing into asteroids that are everywhere. So everybody has to collectively work together, but there's no leader. So it's really interesting. It's a pretty cool game. But
You
that
have to
that
I've
is
heard of
That
that.
is cool.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
cool though. It's actually
Wait,
sounds fun, unlike
there-
the Xbox None.
That reminded me of this tablet game where everybody has like their own iPad, and they were supposedly like commanding their like they're all
Oh,
part of
the-
like the spaceship.
Yeah,
it's
it's actually a Star Trek bridge
Yeah,
simulator.
where like the thing is, everybody has like this little teleprompter on their screen that says this requirement needs to be met, like this toggle needs to be on. The thing is, you don't have that toggle; somebody else does. So you have to shout it. Another person will be like, "All right, I got it," and so you're sitting there like everybody's telling each other they need these certain things, and like all of a sudden, you're flying or whatever, and there's like a meteor shower. So everybody's like, "Oh no, meteor shower! You have to do this really quick,"
Yeah,
It's just like,
and there's rescue missions, and you have to fight off the Klingons or whoever they use. It's really interesting stuff. Yeah,
I think
I'm more interested in non-new consoles than new consoles that are coming out right now.
yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be the easiest generation for me. I don't have to buy anything.
Yeah,
You could buy the Wii U because
I'll
it's
just buy a
actually-
Wii U, and I have my good old games account, and
Right
I have
on,
my Steam account.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
and
good.
and the
that's
thing,
it.
Wii
the
U.
thing
All
that
you
helps, the thing that helps the Wii U too is that it does have backwards compatibility, and it's had that since the Wii. Well, it's only like another generation ago, but you could play GameCube on the Wii, and now
Yeah.
you can play Wii on the Wii U.
Actually,
So-
you can play GameCube on the Wii too because it has it's the Wii U mode, right? Does it? Well, I don't know.
No, you can't play GameCube on it, but
Ah,
it's
okay.
supposed to come to the virtual console. Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
well, still, I mean,
So there you go.
that's acceptable.
Well, and they're running the virtual, like, right now the virtual console store and stuff is not, like, perfect yet. It doesn't have a lot of stuff, but it will, and I think it'll be good, and they're not going to charge too much.
Yeah, I was thinking how dumb it was that they weren't able to just port all of the virtual console games straight to the Wii U, but now I'm thinking that's still way better than what Microsoft is doing.
Well, I think too, it's probably like an architectural thing like the others. It's like it might be a little different, so just porting them won't work, so they have to kind of like reconstruct it a little bit to be able to put it on there.
Yeah, and they're also adding it to the Weverse. Like, why can't Metroid crawl?
Yeah.
So,
Oh god, there needs to be a site of just those posts.
so that's pretty fun.
Speaking of like the stores and stuff, Microsoft is doing away with Microsoft points. You will now
Yes.
be using real currency.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Okay, so there's one good thing that we can
So-
all agree on.
You will not have to spend extra money on points that you will have just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
That is actually nice. So I guess that's one less thrust.
So we'll end on a good note.
Yeah, we're on a
Boing.
good note right now.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Xbox One still
obligatory. Oh
sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put that in there.
You
Yeah.
had to really.
Xbox
So,
none
yeah.
at my house, son.
Xbox,
Hope you
Xbox,
enjoyed.
I am disappointed.
Xbox, I am disappointed. It's all good. though. It's all good.
Do I have permission to be in this podcast?
No, you do not have permission to be in this
Actually,
podcast.
I think
crap.
none of us do. We're
Oh.
all
No.
gonna have to leave.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we don't have our activation codes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
been
didn't
24
activate it.
hours. It's been 24 hours. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Gotta
guys.
connect
we
back
all
to the
gotta
Mag.
end this.
Yeah, I said that I was here.
All right.
Xbone, go home, you're drunk.
Go home.
I'm naked because I don't have permission to wear clothes.
On that very sexy note, we will end the MagCast.
Later, people.
Bye.
Naked.